guys, welcome to my channel Among.stouts. If you're new here, my name is Samantha and I am a homeschooling stay-at-home mom of 4 kiddos. So in today's video, I wanted to share with you guys our STEAM cart. So this is a cart that I purchased from Target before the start of last school year. And in here I keep all of our activity books and project books and all of the things that we can use for STEM experiments and exercises, as well as all of our art kits and stuff for painting and all of that good stuff. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get a quick shot of what this cart looks like, and then I'll show you guys more in depth of everything that we have in here. It's just a gray one from Target. It has the 3 tiers. So on the bottom there is where I have some beads. Like those are like beads that you can make little patterns and then iron it. And then I have their paints and paintbrushes. Here we have all sorts of paper. And then up here is where all of their books are in different programs and things like that. So let's start down here at the bottom of the cart, and I'll just show you guys really quickly what we have. We have a couple of different kinds of paints. These are both 2 different kinds of watercolor paints. This is for clay. We also have some clay around here somewhere. These are the oil pastels. And then back here we have, or here at the bottom we have all of their different paint brushes and then just a couple of rulers. And then this is just a little art kit that my girls got last year, and they still have some left in here that they can do. These are, like, there's little glitters and they can, I guess, paint with glitter. It's sand and glitter, and they can make all of these different fish and things. They've only done a few of them out of here, so they still have a few of those that they can do. Back here we have some paint markers or paint pens. And then, like I said, these are those. These beads, they actually haven't done this yet, so we need to break that open and start doing that. And then over here we have some other watercolors. These ones my daughter likes to use in the Good and Beautiful language arts, where it calls for painting. She usually will use these paints here. They're watercolor paints, just in a tube. And then we just have some glue here, just kind of randomly put in there. Okay, so up here, like I said, I have all different kinds of paper. So this is just the this is printer paper. This is paper that I used to use when we were printing all of our Gather Round homeschool units. But what I really love about this premium 32 paper is that it is really smooth and it's thick. So if your kids really want to do painting and things, if your kids are really into painting like mine are, this paper is really, really good for that, because the paint doesn't seep through and it holds its normal regular paper shape really well without crinkling up too much. So this is really good paper for watercolor paint and like markers and things like that, whereas some of these other papers would crinkle up or bleed through. So here we have a couple of these paint kits. This one, we had more of these, but my daughter already painted them. So this is the Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh here, and these are specifically my 9-year-old daughter's. She got these last year and just hasn't gotten through all of them. And then the Eiffel Tower by Georges Seurat. So she's got those. And then these are some other like watercolor painting, how to paint different things. So like that was a landscape, volume, and different things like that here in this book. So it just helps them with watercolor. And then we have like watercolor paper here. We have 2 packs of construction paper and then a drawing pad there. And then here are some dot markers. Mostly my now 3-year-old uses these. So these are his that he likes to use, and we have some papers that are in the closet that have been drying out that I need to hang up for him, because he's been really enjoying doing art with those. So that is the second tier. It's mostly meant for their different paper, and then these are just a few extra things that we have there. So the bulk of the things that we have are going to be here on this top part of the shelf. So this goes with that watercolor book that I was showing you. My kids have been using, these two go together. My kids have been using this just to paint their own paintings. Even though I have this whole kit here, they haven't even opened this up yet. So it's here for them to use whenever they want to get those watercolor pencils and paints out, but they haven't needed to get that. And it has more paper and things like that. So it's just a whole little kit. So they haven't needed to break into the kit yet, but they have already enjoyed using this little booklet here. So this just hangs out in this spot up here. So the other big thing that I have here, this is something that I got at Costco. And it's really cool because you make your own microscope, and then there's different projects or experiments that you can do with that microscope. And it has a book here, and you're just learning all about the different things that you are investigating with the microscope that you build. So I want to do this all as a family. We just haven't gotten to it yet. So once we are able to get to this, and here's all the stuff to make the microscope, and this is just, like I said, the information for the projects that we will do. So this is really exciting. They had this at Costco a few months ago, like probably during the winter time, I believe. I can't remember exactly. And that's what the microscope will look like. So this will be a really fun activity for all of us to do together when we get there. And then another Costco purchase, and this was a more recent Costco purchase here. And this is just a big book of STEAM activities. So it's all science, technology, engineering, art, mathematics, and there's tons of activities. You just go to, each book is different. So there's a Build It, Imagine, Make, Create, How Things Work, Learn to Code, Life on Earth, and Kitchen Chemistry. And honestly, like, not all of these books appeal to all of my kids, but there's something in here for each one of my kiddos. Like, my girls love the Kitchen Chemistry and the Imagine, Make, Create, and the Life on Earth, whereas my son loves the Build It, How Things Work, and Learn to Code. And he'll dabble in, like, kitchen chemistry and things like that too, but those first three are the ones that he specifically really enjoys. Okay, so I'll just start going through some of these books really quickly that we have. These aren't exactly STEAM books. They are Animals of the World, and my girls just have this that they could use. If they want to learn more about any animals, it helps them with coming up with presentation ideas this year for CC, because we are doing lots of animals, mammals, reptiles, all of those things in CC this year. And so this is just another resource for them to be able to come to be able to have an idea or use a page for presentation for CC. They haven't gotten to them yet, but I needed a place to put these, and they fit in here, so that's why they went in there. And then I really love all of these STEM starter books. So this is the ARC activity book, and it's basically just open it up, and there's all different drawing prompts and different ways and things for your kiddos to learn about art. And my daughter really has enjoyed this book. My youngest daughter, she can't really read through it all, but she likes coming in here, and like she's done the cat there. Let's see, I think there's another one that she's done in here. I'm not sure, but they like to come in here and pick things to either trace, to draw, or my 9-year-old, she likes coming and actually reading the activities. I don't let them draw or do any of the prompts actually in the book, because I want them to all be able to use it whenever they want. So they will just do whatever they choose to do on another piece of paper. Okay, so this has been a huge hit for my daughter. We just got this for her this year. It's Fashion Design for Kids, Skill Building Activities for Future Fashion Designers. This one I bought for her specifically based off interest that I saw in her. And so this isn't one that I'm telling her that she can't write in. So she's been Actually, I haven't told her that she can't write in it, but I don't think she's done very much, or she's done some, like she wrote there. But I've noticed that sometimes she'll do some of the activities, like when she's drawing the people and then drawing outfits, she's doing that on separate pieces of paper, and then she's kind of just keeping them all together in a folder, which I think is really nice, because I don't know if this goes somewhere, then she'll be able to like have that forever and just see like what she was designing and what she was coming up with at the age of 9. And then over the years, it'll just be really interesting to see how far she takes it. So this is the fashion design book, and she really, really loves it. So this is a highly recommended from her and me for kids that may be into fashion design. And then here, this is an extreme dot to dot. And then again, this isn't really art, but I mean, I guess it kind of is art, but like it is super extreme. And these are kind of puzzles. They really get my kiddos' heads like turning and thinking about how to do it, because that is a lot of numbers and things like that. They haven't gotten into this one yet, but we have another book that my son has been doing, and so this one's just an extra one that we have. And so here we have the Zentangle for Kids, the fun and easy way to create magical patterns. And again, this is just more art, learning how to do these patterns. You can start off with basic shapes and just keep on adding lines to make unique patterns into anything that you draw. So you can have a basic fish, and through the use of all different lines and shading, you can have something more intricate like that, just like with the elephant. And so this is another one that my 9-year-old daughter enjoys. I think my son would enjoy it as well, but he just hasn't gotten into this book yet. But I think it's one that I should recommend to him to check out for himself. And so again, this is one that my kids aren't coloring or drawing in, but rather using another piece of paper and just following along with the book. And so here again, I have 2 more of these STEM starter books. This is the technology book. And so that's what that looks like. I don't think any of my kids have gotten into this one yet, so I can't say just how good this one is. But again, just like with the art, it's packed with lots of activities and technology facts. If you have a techno kid, they probably will really enjoy this activity book. And then this is the engineering one. I know that my son has dabbled in this book a little bit last year. I don't know what all he did in it though, but there's that. Just a little flip through of this book. So again, any of your kiddos that are into engineering activities, this is a really great one. Okay, so here, this is a really fun one. My kids have enjoyed this. This is Usborne Art Ideas, Drawing Animals. And so there's so much information in here beyond just how to draw, and all of the detail that your kiddos are learning how to put into their drawings for animals is really cool in this book. And again, my oldest daughter and my son have enjoyed this, and also my daughter, my 7-year-old, she was 6 last year, but she enjoyed coming in here and picking an animal to draw. And what she would do though is just trace like the basic animal and then just color it rather than going on to a lot of the detail. So while this is probably meant for some of your older kiddos who are really good at drawing, even young kids who are really good at drawing, your younger kiddos could still enjoy it by sticking to the basic animals and just coloring it however they see fit, and then over time adding in a lot of the more intricate detail that it's showing them. And then this is the same kind of book, but with drawing cartoons. So just making things look cartoonized, I guess you could say. So that's a really fun book. And then I have the nature notebook from The Good and the Beautiful. I actually have a couple of these, but only one of them is in here. We're using different nature journals this year, and we never got into this last year, so it's kind of just hanging out here. And same with the Creative Arts and Crafts project. We have this as an option to come in and pick out arts and crafts to do. We did a couple of them last year, and I'm sure as the holidays go through. We'll do more of them, but this one has been really great for my youngest daughter because the arts and crafts in here are a lot more at her level than many of the other books that we have. So last year, her and I together did this bird, and then we did one of the flowers in here. Last year, her and I, we did mostly watercolor, some of the watercolor projects in here. And so this year I want to do some of the more like make projects. So there's those two. This is something that we've had for such a long time, and honestly we've never done it, so I kind of just stuck it in here because it is making stuff with it being origami, but I think it's time to just move on and pass along because my kids haven't really shown any interest. My boys absolutely love Star Wars, but still haven't gotten into this and made any of the activities, so but it is an option that is here. Same with this Star Wars craft book here, same thing. And then we have a paint book and an activity book. So that's the Star Wars books there that we have. So these next few books here were actually mine, and I still enjoy using them, but I went ahead and added them to my kids' Steam cart because my girls have especially expressed interest in learning how to hand letter. These are books that I use to teach myself how to hand letter, and so this one, I didn't enjoy this one as much. So this is the first book that I bought, and I think that my 9-year-old has used this one, and she's been using this one for a couple years. And again, we just use I'll show you guys the paper that we use because we don't write in these books either. But she really loved doing the block letters and then some of the like cutesy cursive, but there isn't a whole lot of like brush lettering in here, which is what I was really wanting to learn in the beginning. So this is more of like, I would say, a teen and tween kind of lettering book because it gets super like cutesy with all the little curls and stuff and block lettering. And my 9-year-old, she's been using this since she was probably 7, I think, and she really enjoys it. And so the one that I learned with is this book here, the Ultimate Brush Lettering Guide. And so I really enjoyed this, and now I have it in here for her to use. But this is really like, it starts off really basic, teaching you, because the thing with hand lettering is it's not really writing, it's more like drawing. You're drawing shapes to form letters. And so it starts off really basic, learning the shapes that you're going to be using for them, for all of your letters, and then it'll take you into learning how to do the letters after you get these basic shapes down. So I really like this book. If you are wanting to learn how to hand letter, this is what taught me. Okay, so the paper that we use for tracing is this tracing paper by Hand Letter Design, and she also has really good hand lettering practice books. Those ones are more like for you to trace and to use, and so I don't have them in here because I did write in them, but check out her website. I'm not sure what it is. You could Google Hand Letter Design and find it. She has the lettering tracing paper, and then she has like the thicker cardstock paper for you to put your finished product on after you have practiced all of your letters and you know exactly what you want to write and your spacing. Then you can then move it to like cardstock paper, and she has that paper as well, and she also has graph paper for you. So what I do is we buy this tracing paper, and it's super thin, and we just take a sheet out and we put it on the sheet that we want to practice on, and then we use our brush pens, and then that's how we practice our lettering. So I highly recommend this paper so that your books can last and be passed down. And this is also really good. You can see I have some scribbles there from whenever I was first learning. But this Rhodia paper is also really, really good practice paper. It's on graph, but again, she does have it also, but this can be purchased from Amazon. So that Rhodia paper is really good. And then this paper here for practicing is really good as well. And I have some in there from whenever I was first learning. So it's not very good. I'm not going to show you guys. But these are pads that I used when I was first learning. And then my daughter and I both still use this letter tracing paper as well. So that's all of our hand lettering stuff. Kind of to go along with it, I have this book. here, How to Draw Inky Wonderlands. My son, we haven't used this yet, but this is something that my son and I are very interested in learning how to do. He really loves like intricate drawing, and I do too, but I'm not very good at it, and he's much better at drawing than I am. So I want him to learn how to do these so that he can add these little things to all of my hand lettering for me, some flowers and some vines and things like that to my hand lettering. And then I was like, oh, we could be like, have our own little partnership. So we have this so that we can learn how to draw with these little ink pens and have super cute, dainty drawings to add to any of our hand lettering or anything like that. And then these are something that I've had for a while as well. And my kids enjoy these because they're super basic and easy. I got these from the Target dollar spot years ago. They're Learn to Draw, so I have one for dinosaurs and one for regular animals. And there's just different pages here of learning, and it comes with the graph paper as well. So here is where you would practice drawing a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So it starts off super basic with the shapes and then how to get to the final project. And again, you can pull out the graphing papers here and use them, but my kids just do it on separate paper. There's tons of graphing paper, so I think it would be fine, but we just use separate paper. It works for us that way. And this book is the exact same, except it just has different animals in here. So there's that. And then here, I showed this in a haul previously. This is the book that I got for my 7-year-old daughter. She's 7 now. This is the Adventure Girls Crafts and Activities for Curious, Creative, Courageous Girls. She's also like, she loves science and things like that and doing science experiments. So I thought this would be perfect for her because she's getting like fun arts and crafts in here, but also being able to tie a little bit of science to it and why these things work the way that they do and things like that. So that's a book for her. We have the Scratch program on my 7-year-old's tablet, and then we also have it on our computer. And so these are just mostly what my girls do for them to practice coding. My son uses another program. These are really, really fun and really cool for super entry-level intro to coding. And basically just figuring out, it helps kids to learn that there's ways to input things into the computer to make something happen. So in order to make a character, to make that character move, to make a game. And so Scratch is really a great program for intro level coding. And then let's see, all of these, wait, I'll show you this one here because this is another one of my daughter's books. This is her Write and Design Your Own Magazines. I bought this for her last year. Again, this is kind of just picking up on her interest in what she was showing to me and things like that. And last year, during the school year, she started making us a family magazine, a little monthly magazine. And so a friend was having an Usborne party, and I saw this book and I was like, oh, this will be really great for her. She's already like putting together her own little like 2 to 3 page magazine, and this will just, you know, help her to learn more about magazines, what they entail, and then writing and designing her own. So we got her that book. Let me take this stuff out to make it easier for myself. Okay, so here's another Usborne STEM book. This is the Engineering Scribble book. A couple of my kids have gotten into this and they have enjoyed it so far. It's basically just showing you how to draw like your own, how to draw and design some of your own things like a roller coaster. There's a robot, all different kinds of things in here. There was face recognition, earthquake detector. And so what I really like about these is they include so much information about why we use some of these things, how they're developed, and then walking them through how to draw and design their own. And then back here I have, and then back here I have 3 different architect books. If if you have been around my channel, you probably know that my son has expressed interest in architecture. If you're new, my son has expressed interest in architecture probably since he's 11, and probably since he was about 7. I think first grade, when he very first learned what an architect was and what they did, he's been interested. So again, just trying to foster and build up on my kids' interest and help them and guide them to where they want to go. So this is kind of just like the engineering book, but it's the architecture scribble book. So it has says design your own buildings, draw like an architect, scribble decorations, think like an architect as you scribble your way through this jam-packed activity book. It's full of buildings to design, models to build, landscapes to create, and much more. And so this is just a book for him to come to when he wants to do an activity out of there. And then he has 2 others to choose from. So this is the Architecture for Kids, Skill Building Activities for Future Architects. Kind of the same thing. What I really like about these is they start out pretty basic with just teaching how to draw a floor plan to begin with. And so he's done a couple of floor plans, and then eventually you'll start building up into 3D. And then you'll do models, paper models, whatever. So he's still actually has been enjoying the floor plan stage. So I know he's in a floor plan out of this one and out of this one here. And I think out of this one, this is the Architect Academy. And I got these 2 here. I got these last 2 here from Amazon, and this one from Usborne, which you might be able to find on Amazon. I'm not sure. I know you can find some Usborne books on Amazon. So again, this is just another book. I like having different books for him because, well, a lot of it is the same information. It's all being told to him from a different perspective by a different person. So he's getting there's still different projects in here. He's learning more language, more vocabulary based on what the different authors are putting in their books. And I feel like the more that he has, the more well-rounded understanding he can get for everything that architecture and being an architect entails. So that's all that we have there. And these are just drawing books. These are journals that they can come and get. These are blank books here. And then we have some STEM books back here. And then these are just some journals for us to write in. And that's all of our STEM cart. It's all kind of all over the place right now. But let me go ahead and walk you over here so I can show you just some games that we also have to play that I include as a part of their STEM choices. So these aren't necessarily activities, but they are thought-provoking, and they need to use their brains and a little bit of logic to get through these. So these are just a few games that we have. What should I do? Animal Logic, Equilibrio, and we have Braintopia. These are all the books that go to a lot of these different games. We have Smart Cookies for my youngest, but that's in the closet. And then over here we have Circuit Maze and Marble Circuit. And that's everything that we have. And so usually I keep our cart in here, right in that space there. And so here we have like another drawing pad, and these are like jumbo coloring books. We have 3 of them. There's just one right now. And like I said, my son had some art that was drawing over here. We have more games and things for them to choose from. My 7-year-old daughter, she has one other option for STEM that isn't in the STEM cart, and I keep it in here. And it's the Osmo. So she can ask for my iPad, and we can connect this to the iPad, and she can use the Osmo. And so what's really cool about that is it's got word building, math building, all different kinds of learning skills, but it's also got a coding component to it that seems to work really nicely for her, even though she also enjoys doing Scratch. So that's it. That's everything that we have for STEM. Okay guys, there you have it. That is everything that we have in our STEAM cart, our games that we have to play, I showed you where we store it in our closet. I showed you guys my daughter's Osmo kit. And that's all of the things that my kids have to choose from as part of their STEAM. So if you have seen our schedule videos, at the end of every school day, they have like they can choose a STEAM option, and they each all have a loop of specific things that I have on there, but they're also more than welcome to choose something else. I just don't want them not to know what to do, so I gave them all specifics on their schedule so that they know, like, oh, this is what I'm doing. But if they were to come get their materials from the cart and decide that they wanted to do something else that's not on their schedule, that's totally fine. I just always want them to know what to do instead of hanging around for 20-30 minutes because they can't decide what to do. So I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing what all we have in our STEAM cart and what that looks like for my kids here in our homeschool. If you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit the like button. If you aren't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit subscribe. I would love to have you here as a part of my community, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!